Okay, so the trial has come to an end. Jonathan Majors has been found guilty. He's been found guilty of two misdemeanors, and he got off of the two more serious charges. I think the two misdemeanors are fines plus community service, or the maximum would be a year in jail. All arrows are pointing to the direction that he's probably gonna have to pay a fine and do and do community service. Now, in regards to what we're here for, which is the MCU, which is if you've been sitting around since the end of Phase 4, waiting for the MCU to make sense and bring it all together, congratulations. We're not where that's not gonna happen. Marvel is sitting at a crossroads currently. That crossroads is, do we scrap the entire multiversal saga? It doesn't seem as though that's going to be the plan. They fired the writer for Ant-Man Quantumania and said he was no longer doing the multiversal stuff, and they hired the guy who was in charge of Loki. If anything, I think that Loki is the best product that we have gotten post Endgame, and that's definitely up there to say, because I fucking love Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I loved Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. I also love Shang-Chi. There were a bunch of other smaller projects, the TV show side projects that I enjoyed as well. But I would say that Loki season 2 is the best project that they have put out post Endgame, completely wrapping up the character story. If they are deciding to continue with the character of Kang, I've got one, two, three, four. It started off as five, but then I threw a sixth one in there just for shits and giggles, just for fun, right? So we're gonna go down this list of five. They're not in any particular order except for the last guy, who's my hilarious pick. So number one, we've got Trevante Rhodes. For those of you who do not know who this person is, he is fantastic. If you've ever seen Moon Knight, he was the male lead in Bird Box, and he was also one of the individuals in The Predator. If you've seen him in Moon Knight and if you've seen him in Mike and Bird Box, then you know that this guy has range. He is, in my opinion, I don't want to say he's a variant of Jonathan Majors, but he operates in that same wheelhouse where he adapts to fit whatever role you essentially choose to put him in. And I think he would be a really, really good and solid pick to essentially replace Jonathan Majors as Kang. He's my number one. Number two would be Roger Jean Page. If you don't know who he is, another fantastic actor. He was in Dungeons and Dragons. Well, first off, he started off in Bridgerton. He had a small role in The Gray Man, opposite Chris Evans, which is 6 degrees separation from somebody that was working in Marvel. He was also a part. If I already said Bridgerton, I'm sorry. But Dungeons and Dragons was where he really popped for me because it really showed that he had a level of range, because it really felt as though he was playing just the hot character who stands over there. Whereas Dungeons and Dragons was like, nah, bro, we need you to have like some dry comedic timing. And he absolutely had that. And when it came time for him to throw down, he could absolutely throw down. He would be a really solid and good pick to play Kang. Funnily enough, I scroll down and we actually had Damson Idris. He is not on my list. However, he is also a solid pick for somebody that I think could come in and take over the role of Kang the Conqueror. If you just look at his filmography, from Franklin Saint on Snowfall to Farming, Outside the Wire with, once again, 6 Degrees of Separation with Anthony Mackie, he is fantastic. He is really fucking good. So if you wanted an actor who had the range of Jonathan Majors, and in my opinion, who kind of has a bigger range than Jonathan Majors, Damson Idris is a fantastic choice. I'm really literally just sitting around hoping that his Hollywood career just absolutely fucking takes off, because that dude, he is absolutely fantastic. Next on the list is John David Washington. Now, talk about a guy who also has range, from Tenet to The Creator to Black Klansman to Malcolm and Marie, that really small indie film that he did with Zendaya. Once again, 6 Degrees of Separation from the MCU. His small role in Ballers. The movie that he just released, The Creator, is really good. He is another person who has the range where not only could he play a serious and menacing character, but he could also play a jokester, somebody who cracks jokes because he has really good comedic timing. He is his father's son. He is another solid pick for somebody who could replace Jonathan Majors as Kang. This one is a little bit of a controversial pick because we've already seen him in the MCU. He played the High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He is, in my opinion, the second best villain the MCU has ever put forward behind Thanos. He is that effective. There's a part of me that thinks that we drew his card a little bit too soon, or maybe we drew his card a little bit too late. And the High Evolutionary, he was undeserving of him. He deserved to be a bigger, more menacing threat in the MCU. If they decide to basically spin that block, go back, get my man, and make him Kang, I'm 100% there for it. 100% there for him being the main bad guy of the MCU as Kang, because no one sits down and watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and goes, this guy did not nail being unhinged, smart, menacing, poetic, just everything you need your villain to be perfectly, down to the most minute detail. Yeah, no. If they decide to spin a block and go get my boy, that'll be a great decision on their part. Even though I feel as though some people would complain because we saw him essentially play another character, but we've been here before with characters in the MCU who've played other characters coming back to play new characters. So it's not exactly as though we are in some way, shape, or form treading on new water or in any way. The next pick or of the five is Aldous Hodge. If you don't know who Aldous Hodge is, he was in Black Adam. He was one of the main guys in Leverage. He was the one of the main people in The Invisible Man. He is absolutely fantastic. He's another person that I think can do the joking into serious, into menacing, into joking, into menacing again perfectly, where a lot of his emotion is basically read off of his face. So he's the type of person where, he can come at you with a smile and then instantaneously whip out a knife and stab you in the neck and call it a fucking day. He would also be a really good pick to take over and be the new Kang the Conqueror in the MCU if they choose to continue down this route. And my last pick, the person who was not originally on my list and who I accidentally came across and was like, this person would be the perfect Kang the Conqueror in every way, shape, or form, because all they have to do is maintain his personality and attitude from the TV show he was on, is Omari Hardwick. If you don't know who he is, he played Ghost on Power. When I say that this dude right here would be a fantastic Kang the Conqueror, you know that I am telling the absolute fucking truth. Just go watch Power. If you've never seen Power, go watch Power. That is a version of Kang the Conqueror who did not have the technology, but was making moves and just eliminating people who essentially got in his way. Yeah, no. Omari Hardwick if he's a fan cast for me. The rest of them are pretty serious casts that I actually sat down and I thought about for a while. But Omari Hardwick is the person that I chose, like, if I really wanted to have fun with the entirety of the role. He's actually on the short side in comparison to most of these people. He's 5'10", to Aldous Hodges 6'1", to, I think, Chukwudi is also 6 foot. To John. Oh no, wait, he's taller than John David Washington, who's only 5'9". Damson Idris is 6'1". Trevante Rhodes is also 6 feet. So He's the second shortest of the people that I would love to see play Kang the Conqueror, but I think he would also do a fantastic job. Now here is the thing. For any of these actors essentially coming into this role, it is sad to say, but you may be setting yourself up. I do not see a smooth transition for anyone. Anyone coming into this role is going to be hated. You're going to be hated because there's going to be a section of the internet that are just Jonathan Majors diehards that refuse to let him go. Which means that you're already coming into a role that's tainted. And I don't know whether or not any of these actors would want to take that gamble of taking on such a role. It's it's one of those it's high risk high reward where if you take on the role and you absolutely nail it, congratulations, you're going to be one of the big faces of Marvel essentially going forward for probably the next 5 to 10 years. Um but if you go into this role and people actually absolutely hate it and it bombs even more than the Marvels bombed, then your acting career is essentially dead. Like Marvel and Disney, even without wanting to drive a stake through the heart of your career, would have driven a stake through the heart of your career. And I don't know whether or not anybody would want to sign up for that, because you're signing up for a level of pressure of attacks on social media from multiple people, on people trying to cancel the new movies coming out because Jonathan Majors isn't in it, cancel the new movies because Disney didn't fire him the second he was accused, cancel the new movies for this, cancel the new movies for that. Basically everybody is going to be drawing up like 27 small little cancel culture sects, and all of them are going to be at war with each other, but at the same time trying their hardest to cripple what it is that you're working on and throw dirt on your name. I don't know if anybody would want to sign up for that, but hey, let me know what you think about my list. Let me know what your list is, like who your 5 people are, or if you don't have 5 people, let me know who your number 1 is. Comment down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.